Prif Weinidog, mi fydd dwadwriaethau eraill yr Undeb Ewropeaidd yn penderfynu mewn uwch gynhadledd y penwythnos yma os ydy yr cytundeb ddrafft ar adael yr Undeb Ewropeaidd yn gweithio iddyn nhw. Ydych chi'n credu fod o'n gweithio i Gymru?
Achos y ffaith wi wastad wedi bod o blaid sefyll tu fewn i'r farchnad sengl ac wrth gwrs tu fewn i'r Undeb Clochau.
Mi ydyn ni wrth gwrs ymhell iawn o be gafodd ei gynnig yn y referendum 2 flynedd a hanner yn ôl. The agreement on offer is miles away actually from the promises made and voted on in June 2016. It probably doesn't please anybody at this point. I think we're agreed on that. Where we don't agree is how to protect Wales's interest in the event of the UK ceasing to be a member of the EU, however that happens. Now, the Supreme Court is busy considering whether a Scottish Continuity Bill is within the competence of the Scottish Parliament. If the Court agrees that it is, the Scots will have a powerful legislative shield against the Westminster power grab. Yet while you have raised concerns about the nature of UK withdrawal, as being proposed at the moment, at the same time you're proposing this afternoon that we repeal the Welsh Continuity Bill, the only thing preventing the Tories from legislating in devolved areas without this Assembly's consent. Now, given that the Supreme Court will come to its decision on Scotland within a matter of weeks, why not delay withdrawing the Welsh Continuity Bill until we understand the lay of the land at the Supreme Court?
Well, of course, any ruling by the Supreme Court will have an effect on Wales. Let's say, for example, that the Supreme Court were to say that the Scots have that power, then that would cover us as well. But if they say that there's no power to do it, the Scots have nothing, and we have an agreement. That's the issue here. We have an intergovernmental agreement that was reached by 2 parties. Part of that agreement was to withdraw the Continuity Act. If we don't do that, we will have breached the agreement. And that means, of course, that we have shown bad faith as far as the UK government is concerned and as far as we are concerned. It's also worth, of course, bearing in mind that that agreement was reached after many, many months of negotiation. And that agreement is something which cannot lightly be thrown away. Now, I know he takes the view that he doesn't like the agreement. I understand that. It's been made clear in the past in this chamber. But we have an agreement as a government to protect Wales, and we intend to make sure that agreement is honoured, at least on our side.
Wales has too few levers as it is, and what happens in taking away the potential powers of the Continuity Bill for Wales is that you weaken those powers that we do have. And legal argument is that Wales had a stronger case in the Supreme Court than Scotland did. But moving on, just over a week ago, your party leader, Jeremy Corbyn, told the German newspaper Der Spiegel that Brexit cannot be stopped. Since then, we've been told that what he actually meant was that Labour on its own can't stop Brexit. Now, opposition parties on the Remain side of the argument have been very open to the notion of working in a cross-party manner to halt Brexit. Now, rather than prevaricating, and to be honest, I'm done guessing what's going on in Jeremy Corbyn's mind, but don't you think that the Labour Party now should be entering into urgent talks with ourselves, the SNP, other parties at Westminster to coordinate efforts to secure a fresh vote with Remain on the ballot paper? I know you've been advocating going down the general election route instead, but surely you can see now that what we really need is a people's vote.
Well, let me explain where I think we are. First of all, I think there's been a complete failure of politics in Westminster. We know that because we had a referendum in 2016 on an idea. People now can see what the outcome is. And I do think that there is every justification in saying to people, now you know what the reality is, what do you now want to do? That could be done either through a general election or a public vote. But what's clear is that public vote would have to offer the option of whether to leave, on what basis to leave, or indeed whether to remain, on the basis of what we know now. I can't see that where politicians in Westminster have failed, or a government in Westminster has failed, that there is anything wrong with going back to people and say the circumstances have now changed. What do you now want to do? If they still want to leave, then of course they have the opportunity to say so, but I do think we need to trust the people on this.